What's up, YouTube? This is Ultra Rye, and this is going to be the part 4 of our progression guide to Elder God, right? So far we've learned a lot, actually, a lot more than it seems like. We've learned every string in the game. We've learned if it's an overhead low. We've learned how to block overhead lows. We've learned how to hit confirm. We've learned every string that's punishable. We've learned every special move that's punishable. We can anti-air, use our cameo, and we've went over a bunch of stuff. So now, I think this is the point where we need to start getting into more advanced techniques, right? You got all the basics down, right? So now we're going to talk about jailing and frame trapping, right? So, jailing is super important because let's say you hit someone with a down one, right? So Melina's set to crouch, right? No matter what. She's going to crouch as the first frame possible after I hit her with a down one. So, if I hit her with a down one, she can't crouch, right? Because I'm at such frame advantage. I'm at plus 12 on hit, and my jab is 7 frames, that my 7 frames will automatically hit her unless she's blocking, right? I can also do this with a standing 2, because standing 2 is 9 frames. So, down 1 on hit is 12 frames, so any high that's the same if frames are lower, you can jail with, right? So, obviously, it's going to be easier, right? The least startup frames. Because if you go to jail with something that's like 11 frames, you're going to have to be like frame perfect. But most of the time, if you land a down one, you get a freestanding 2 or freestanding 1, and that's pretty much universal, right? So why is this important? This is important because the way to punish down ones, down 1. So, if we have may walk up down 1, right, and then go to block, you're always going to get a down 1 punish. So you notice there's a punish, right? So this is always going to put your opponent into a jailing situation if you block a down 1. Now, I do want to say there's some characters that can't punish all down 1s with their down 1, right? So I'm actually going to have Melina down 1 me, right? And my down 1 is so stubby that I can't punish her down 1 back. But you need to understand that this exists, and very few characters can actually punish down 1s with their down 1. But that isn't the only thing that you can jail off of, right? Depending on your character, you can jail off of other strings, right? Like Li Mei, her down 4, right? She can actually jail off of down 4 because her down 4 is 15 frames. And not only that, she can sometimes dash cancel if I can do it. Yeah. Okay. So, there we go. So I dash canceled and I jailed into it, right? And this will catch a lot of people. So it's good for you to go through your strings, figure out what on hit freestands your opponent and what you can jail off of, right? And understand you might have to use dash canceling. And dash canceling will actually be in the next video that we go over. But it's pretty much you're just kind of dashing and then you're canceling your dash, right? So you're dashing and then you can cancel it into anything, right? You can cancel a forward dash into a poke, into a block, and that's what dash canceling is. So you're hitting a down 4, you're dash canceling, and you're canceling your dash into a poke. So that is jailing. Jailing is super important. You need to go through all your character's buttons and figure out what jails, right? Also, you need to know what which of your opponent's string jails, right? So that's super important too, so you can go through there, but just know that all down 1's jails, and that is a good part to start on jailing. So now we're going to talk about frame traps, right? Frame traps is you're hitting your opponent plus frames, and then you're using another move to make it so your opponent can't hit a button, right? So let's take alright, so let's take that for example, right? Lime is 212 or 214 is plus, my bad, my cat was in the way, is plus 6, and her back 2 is 12 frame startup, right? So she's doing 214 plus 6 right now, and to back 2, which is 12 frame startup, which means that there's a 6 frame gap, right? So there we go. So I cannot hit any button right here, right? Because 214 is plus 7, and back 2 is plus 12, which means that there's only a 6 frame gap, right? And let me show you that without that. Just so you know, I was trying to hit a button there and I couldn't. Now, yes, I could armor, right? But other than armoring, they can't do anything about that. They have to take that pressure. Alright, so 214, like I said, right? Plus 6, you can see at the bottom. And back 2 is 12 frame startup. So with the plus 6, this back 2 actually comes out in like 6 frames. It's still 12 frames, but the first 6 frames you can't move. Your opponent can't move. And that is what a frame trap is. But just remember, you don't always have to frame trap with mids, right? Let's say I take Melina to do 1-2, right? On reversal. Alright, so I have her do 1-2 on reversal. Alright, so I can do like, say 1-2, right? 1-2 is plus 2, right? So if she goes to hit a button, then I can frame trap with another 1-2, right? Because 1 is 7 frame startups, which means that after 1-2, that is plus 2, this next standing one technically comes out in 5 frames because there's 2 frames that you can't move. So, frame traps are not always with mids, right? And every single character in this game has some type of frame trap, and you just need to figure out what is what. But you need to learn your frame traps and your opponent frame traps, right? Because once you understand jailing and frame traps, the game opens up a little bit more, right? You're going to know when you have to block, when your opponent has to block, and if you know how to frame trap someone, you can get them to hit buttons when they shouldn't, right? So these are just the 2 techniques that I think you need to start incorporating right now. And in the next video, we are going to go into micro ducking, fuzzy blocking, and dash canceling. So that's what's in tune for us in the future. I appreciate the support. Y'all have a fantastic day, and enjoy Mortal Kombat 1.